Ladies and gentlemen, we are live.
All right. Welcome back to another stream. I hope you didn't watch. Well, yeah. I hope you didn't watch my stream earlier, because I was getting absolutely, well, not destroyed, but I was just playing horrible. Like, I was playing video games like college football and Madden. Well, I won a few games, but I was just absolutely terrible. And I hope y'all didn't see that, whoever's watching this stream. Yeah, I hope you didn't see that at all. But anyways, I got some videos to react to. You know, I'll react to a few videos. I got like an hour and 30 minutes for streaming. So it should be today should be a solid stream. Today should be Charlotte. Dude, I can't speak. Yeah, it should be a solid stream. All right. Pause that. And that's the Balrog theme. All right. Playlist. Okay. Of course, we gotta watch the MPG videos first. All right, man. LSU coaching search is getting interesting. All right, man. Let's check it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope I'll be having a great Tuesday. Hope I'll be having a great start to your week. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. And man, oh man, we got an update on the Lane Train situation. Because so many people are talking about Lane Kiffin getting this job. Sorry, LSU fans, you're not getting Lane Kiffin. But we do have an update on the LSU Tigers. Go Tigers, Sean Ed Ogeron. Coaching search. Ah, yes. It feels like it was only yesterday. The biggest job in the college football world was the Penn State job. But then you had the Florida.
The biggest job available is the LSU job. It's not a debate.
Job open up. That was the newest and biggest one out. And now you got the LSU Tigers. Apparently and allegedly, that's the best one out. I'm not going to sit up here and debate for the next 2 or 3 minutes. What's a better job, the Florida Gators or LSU? We'll just say for the sake of this video, they're 1A, 1B. They're premier programs, and you got a ton of resources. By resources, I mean
Florida and LSU, they're both historic programs. But as of right now, LSU is the best job available right now. So, yeah.
NIL money, great weightlifting facilities, and also 4- and 5-star recruits in your backyard. Not just the LSU job, but the Florida job, both of them. They're great, to say the least. But with Brian Kelly departing, we're not going to sit up here and beat a man when he's down. I'm not going to sit up here and tell you how bad Brian Kelly was. I'll leave that up to you guys in the comment section. That's water under the bridge. Well, we're here to talk about who some of the new candidates are for this job. Oh, yeah, by the way, we are less than 100 subscribers away from 383,000 subscribers. So if you're new to the channel or maybe you've been watching and you're just not subscribed, trust me, I do the same thing to some of the creators I watch. Consider subscribing, join our community. We'd love for you to be a part of it, and it'd help us get a little bit closer to our goal of 400K. Let's get back into the video. I'm going to get this out of the way because I already know Timothy and Bobby are flying. I see you, Bobby. You fly to the comment section. Matt, what if we give him X amount of money? Maybe we can persuade Kiffin. Maybe Kiffin will like it down here better. Oh, maybe Kiffin will come here because his daughter. Shut up, nerd. You are not. Say it with me now. You are not getting Kiffin. This is
no, it's not happening, man. He's staying at Ole Miss. Like none of those programs are getting Lane Kiffin. LSU's not getting him. Penn State's not getting him. Arkansas's definitely not getting him. Florida's not getting him. He's staying at Ole Miss.
I will address it. The amount of people that have been tweeting at me talking about, well, Matt, what if this happens? Do you think we get? You're not getting him. I'm going to cut you off there. Let me ask you a question. If you think you are getting him, it would make a little bit of sense if Ole Miss did not have the talent to compete, if they didn't have the money to compete, or if they were paying Lane Kiffin peanuts, pennies on the dollar. But that's just not the case. Numero uno, Lane Kiffin has a nice little salary at Ole Miss. And when I say little, I mean, yeah, he's getting paid a hefty amount. Numero two, he has a playoff team. He has one of the best teams in the nation. Numero 3. They give them enough money to compete in the NIL and transfer portal era. And here's a bonus one for you. I've said it all the time. At Ole Miss, if you win 8 to 10 games per year, like Kiffin has done up until this point, they're going to build a statue of you. If you win 8 to 10 games per year at Florida and LSU, you get fired.
Yeah, that's not. Yep, that's not good enough if you're coaching LSU or Florida. Yeah, that's definitely not good enough.
At Ole Miss, he runs that town. I mean, he runs it. He is the man. If he goes to Florida or LSU, what are fans going to say? Hey, Kiffin, I'm glad you're here, but you better start winning games or, yeah, we're going to be critiquing you to the finest. I'm done talking about the Kiffin stuff. It is beyond ridiculous, ludicrous, and just come on. I don't claim to be a rocket scientist. I'm not a genius. But this is common sense 101. There's no reason why he would take the LSU or Florida job. None. Or let me put it to you like this. A good reason of that. Let's get into, I believe, On 3. Yeah, they made this graphic shout out to On 3, and it was Pete Nakos who came out with these. This is what they're labeling as I believe it's the hot board. Hold on, I had it saved somewhere. Well, I thought I had it saved. Oh, here it is right here. Yeah, this is from Pete Nakos, the LSU head coach hot board. Start at the bottom, work our way up. We got Joe Brady from the Buffalo Bills, John Summerall.
Joe Brady.
That's a really interesting one. I've seen his name.
I didn't know he was in the conversation. Wasn't he the offensive coordinator? I think he was the offensive coordinator for the 2019 LSU team.
Around with some other schools like Florida and what's the other one? Oh yeah, Penn State. We'll get back to him in just a second. Brent Key. Haven't seen him either from Georgia Tech. Clark Lee from Vanderbilt. I don't think he'll be leaving Vanderbilt because it's the same thing with Kiffin.
No way he's leaving Vandy.
They're already building a statue for him. Eli Dringowitz from Missouri. That one makes sense. Jeff Brom from Louisville. I've been bringing him up. Kenny Dillingham from Arizona State. Would he want to leave state? Not too sure. Marcus Freeman. Oh, okay, what do we? And then Lane.
Yeah, Marcus Freeman not going anywhere. And Dillingham, yeah, he might leave ASU. You know, ASU hasn't been that great this year.
Kiffin. We're not talking about Marcus Freeman. I'm not talking about Kiffin either. They're not leaving for the same reason and same rant I just went on a couple of seconds ago. So if y'all don't mind, I'm just going to mark Kiffinator and Freeman off the list. I think it's more than safe to say you can mark off Clark Lee. So that leaves us with Dillingham, Brom, Brent Key, Summerall, and Joe Brady. I think it goes without a shadow of doubt in anybody's mind. Summerall will be taking a new job this year. He deserves it. He's earned it. It's a matter of where. Will he go to Florida? Will he go to LSU? Have no idea. I think he'd be a decent fit at LSU. You know, he's around that area. What about Brent Key, though? I like his play style. Would LSU fans like that? Not too sure. Got that hard-nosed and gritty mentality. The Drinkwitz one, I'm not a fan of. I don't think he's that great of a head coach. He's a decent head coach at Missouri, but I think he's reached his peak. He's reached his ceiling. I don't think he'd get along well with LSU or Florida fans. And I know we're mainly talking about LSU, but just thought I'd throw that in there as well. Because I've seen a lot of people talking about, well, if Florida can't get Kiffin Drinkwitz, he's the number one candidate. Not going to talk about Florida too much, but I will say this. If you are a Gator fan, be careful for what you wish for. The guy that I have circled, I think Florida should go after him. I think LSU should go after him. Jeff Brom, look at what he's done. What is LSU's problem? They haven't been able to win big games, and even Penn State. I don't think Penn State's going to go after Jeff Brom. I think he'll take an SEC job if he does leave Louisville. Man. He has some outrageous record. I don't know what it is to be exact, but all he does is beat top 10 teams left and right like it's nothing. He just beat Miami. I like Jeff Brom, and there's a guy that's not on this list I've been advocating for. I know some of y'all are going to laugh and you're going to scoff at it. I don't care. James Franklin. He's one of the best head coaches available. Here's the thing. You got to understand this. Beggars can't be choosers, and right now, LSU fans, you are begging for a new head coach. You can't be choosy. I'm not saying James Franklin's going to win you a national championship. I'm just telling you he's one of the best head coaches available currently. Here's my top 2 out of all the guys. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, I mean, Franklin going to a SEC team like either LSU or Florida would make sense. You know, I still think he is a very good coach, even though he's known for not winning the big games when he was coaching at Penn State, but I do think that would be a solid fit for him. Either LSU or Florida, you know, those SEC teams. I think that would be a solid fit for James Franklin.
He's one of the best head coaches available currently. Here's my top 2 out of all the guys on the list. So I would just talked about Brom, but number 2. You got to go with Summerall. Look at what he's done. Not even just at Tulane. Everybody thinks of him because of that. But at Troy, he won not one but two Sun Belt championships. In 2022 with Troy, he went 12-2. That's fantastic. And in 2023, he went 11-2. 23-4 in 2 seasons. Not too shabby, if I got to say so myself. And this year in 2025 with Tulane, they're 6-1. Their only loss, wasn't it to Ole Miss? Yeah, that's right. It was Ole Miss. And outside of that game, they're perfect. They're 6-1, and who knows? They can win out. Let's check out what some of you guys are saying. Mort B. Giggity.
Mort? What?
That is not my name.
Mort B.
You're gonna strike
Giggity.
for that. Anyways, continuing along here, you owe the fans an apology for that video you did several years ago predicting your uncle. Brian Kelly is not my uncle. Brian Kelly to be the savior of LSU football. Did I say that? Genuine question. I don't recall. If I did, yeah, that's whoopsie daisy on my part. My bad. But I don't even recall that. And I think this is a troll comment. This guy called me Mort B. Giggity and said, my uncle Brian Kelly. Oh, look at this comment. Hey, Matt, thanks for shouting out the female viewers. We love football, too. Yes, I'm glad you commented that. Shout out to the female viewers. Oh,
Yeah, I mean, a lot of women like football nowadays, especially college football. Well, it's pretty obvious because women, they've watched college football for years. They love supporting their school, so, yeah.
For y'all. I see y'all, and I greatly appreciate y'all. David said, I have to blame whoever hired him. Whose great idea was it to give Brian Kelly this unbelievably generous contract? The guy just has not done that much in college football to deserve such a prestigious head coaching job with such an unbelievable salary. Everybody knows Notre Dame pads their schedule every year, so they can end up with, at the worst, 2 losses. Kelly sucks. I'm not going to read off any more of the comments because I skimmed through them. It's just a bunch of people talking about how bad Brian Kelly was at his job, rightfully so, but I think you'll get the point, and I don't want to waste your time with that. What I do want to talk about before we end off this video is outside the head coach, what's next for LSU football this year? Let me remind some of y'all, the season is not over. You're at the halfway point, and guess who you play? One of your biggest rivals, Alabama. At Alabama, and it's just been announced and released, it's going to be a night game, not this upcoming week.
Ooh, it's a night game? Oh, nope. LSU don't stand a chance. They do not stand a chance. It's at Bryant-Denny Stadium at night. Yeah, they're screwed. They're screwed. They are cooked.
6:30 p.m. Central Time. For those of you who don't know, Kalen DeBoer and Alabama have not lost at home. I'm going to say that again. Kalen DeBoer has struggled on the road, but at home, he's impeccable. He is perfect. And I've seen a lot of Bama fans saying, oh, no, this is a recipe for disaster. And I've even brought it up how, who was that team? Oh, yeah, UAB, which is in Birmingham, Alabama. They fired their head coach, Trent Dilfer, and guess what? They upset Memphis, undefeated team, top 25 team. You also had the UCLA incident where they're 0-4, fired Deshaun Foster, and we know what happened next. They beat Penn State, and that was a huge domino effect with James Franklin. Not going to get into that too much. But the point is, we've seen multiple instances this year where a top 25 team has lost to a team that just fired their head coach. Why does that happen? It's fairly simple because the players, the team, everybody involved with the program, they're kind of trying to prove the former head coach, hey, you were wrong, and they're pissed off. They want to go out there and send a message. Now, do I think the LSU players are going to be hyped up for this Alabama game? Yes, I do, but to be fair, they're going to be hyped up regardless. It's Alabama and LSU, and maybe they will have an extra pep in their step. I guess we're going to have to wait and see, but I don't think it's going to fare out better for LSU without Brian Kelly just because there's a lot of uncertainty around that program. Here's where I'm going at with all this. I don't think you have a better shot of beating Alabama after you fired your head coach. I will throw this out there. This isn't a preview or prediction. We'll be doing that next week. LSU can beat Alabama. They got the talent to not only compete with them, but upset them. But I'm also going to remind some of y'all, I know LSU fans, you're all hyper and whatnot because you're getting rid of Brian Kelly and you got a lot of hope. Your team hasn't looked too good the past couple of weeks. One of your quote-unquote star players, I don't even know if I can call him a star anymore, Harold Perkins, your linebacker, he looked awful last game against A&M. Do you want me to start talking about Nussmeier? I don't even got to say anything. LSU fans, y'all can say it in the comment section. Getting back on track with the coaching search, I haven't heard too much, been making a lot of phone calls and texts, but the 2 guys I keep my eyes on, Jeff Brom and John Summerall. Let me know your thoughts down below. But
all right, man. Let's see what LSU.
So Demetrius Johnson.
All right, well, let's see what LSU will do. Well, let's see what they're gonna do. All right. All right, Matt B. Great's prediction for Vandy versus Texas, Tennessee versus Oklahoma. All right, let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope all of you having a great day. Hope all of you having a great week. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. And man, oh man, we got the 2-for-1 special. 2 previews, 1 video. Who says no to that? I don't think anybody's going to be too opposed. If you are, you're going to have to get over it. We got Oklahoma. Hold on, let me set down my coffee. Filming this in the morning. Clap it up to the Oklahoma.
Man, I wish I had like a gunshot sound effect for Oklahoma. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'll do that next time.
Oklahoma Sooners versus the Tennessee Volunteers.
Yeah, but I definitely got something for Tennessee, though.
Here's woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. That's going to be an interesting matchup. Top 20 teams. I believe that is, a night game. ABC in Neyland Stadium. Is Oklahoma going to be ready?
Oh, it's supposed to be in
Probably
Neyland Stadium? Ooh, that's a tough one for Oklahoma. That's a tough game for Oklahoma.
not. We're going to get to that in just a second. And our other top 20 matchup in the SEC as well we're going to be talking about is the Vanderbilt Commodores. Yes, imagine telling someone before the season that Vanderbilt was going to be a top 10 team in, not Oklahoma. Texas was barely going to be inside the top 20. Yeah, that is a sight to see. But regardless, we get
that is still so weird. Vanderbilt is top 10 while Texas is not. That is so weird.
Texas versus Vanderbilt at Texas. That is a noon Eastern kickoff, 11 a.m. Central if you're in the Central Time Zone like myself. Let me know in the comment section, which game captivates you the most? I feel like most people would say, oh, Matt, well, it's got to be Vanderbilt and Texas. But for me, no. It's Oklahoma and Tennessee. And the reasoning for that is because if y'all haven't been paying attention to my rankings, not the AP nerds, but the MBG poll, I have Tennessee at number 8. I still think they are easily a playoff team. Look at their 2 losses to top 5 teams, Georgia and Alabama. I know y'all are probably sick and tired of me saying this, but I have to bring it up when I talk about it. They should have beat Georgia. Kirby Smart's words, not mine. And against Alabama, if it wasn't for that 14-point swing before half, who knows what would have happened in that game. I think Tennessee is a really good football team, and I want to see if they can go out here and continue to back up what I've been saying about them. And who doesn't love to see the Volunteers at night at Neyland Stadium? That is an insane atmosphere, one of the best in the country. If you are somebody that's just getting into college football, or maybe you're not from the States and you're like, hey, Matt, what's a good college football experience? I'd point to this right here. You got to go to Knoxville at night. I've been there myself. It's incredible, but that's the one I'm looking forward to.
I would love to go to that stadium, Neyland Stadium. That's one of the college football stadiums that I definitely want to go to. Like I've been to Willie B, of course. You know, I'm a South Carolina fan, but I went to a friendly, preseason soccer game instead of a college football game. That's pretty much the only college football stadium that I've been to. Just that's literally the only one.
But since we got Vanderbilt and Texas kicking off earlier, why don't we start with them first? I said this when talking about the Vanderbilt-Alabama game. I said this when talking about the Vanderbilt-LSU game, and I'm going to say it again here because we're going to have Texas fans tuning into this video thinking, oh, well, yeah, Vanderbilt's having a nice Cinderella run, a Cinderella season, but it's still the same old Vanderbilt. We should beat them. They're the nerds. But like Lee Corso says,
not so fast.
Friend. If you were thinking that way heading into this matchup, you are highly, and I mean you are highly misinformed. Vanderbilt is a good team, whether you want to believe it or not. This isn't a fluke by any stretch of imagination. They have a gimmicky offense that is extremely hard to stop with Pavia. We'll get to him in just a second, but their defense has vastly improved compared to last year. Do they have a great defense? No, but it's good enough to keep them in games and win games. They held Alabama to 23 points outside of a last-second touchdown. I want to make that well-known early on because I know we're going to have a lot of Texas fans tuning into this video. Shout out to Longhorn Nation. Greatly appreciate you guys. It's all respect and love from my end. Please, and I'm begging you for your sake, take Vandy seriously. Psychologically, it's hard for the fan base to do, and it's going to be hard for the players to do because you're going to look at and go, oh, well, that's just Vanderbilt. I'm telling you, it's not just Vanderbilt. They're a top 10 team for a reason. Guess I need to throw this in there before we even start talking about the game itself. We don't know, or as to when I'm making it.
Oh, yeah, that is true because Arch Manning, he had a concussion in the Mississippi State game. Yeah, so we don't know if Arch Manning will be healthy, and ready to go for the Vanderbilt game.
Be on Wednesday morning. We don't know if Arch Manning's going to play or not. But I'll let this be known early on whether or not Arch Manning decides to give it a go, or if he can give it a go, it's not going to change my decision on this game, not even to the slightest. I said this a couple days ago when we talked about how Arch Manning's in the concussion protocol. I think the backup is just as good as him. 1A, 1B. There's not a big drop off there because, yeah, Arch Manning, he's had some flashes of greatness, but he's also been insanely inconsistent. And look at the backup when he's been thrown into the game against Florida. Throw a rope on that one play, and then what happened last week? He threw the game with a touchdown. That was one of the best passes you're ever going to see. He dropped it in a bucket. Moving along here, let's pull up the line for this game. Last time I checked, because I have already seen it, we did that on the video on Monday. Texas was favored by 1.5 or 2 points. Got it right here, so it's Texas minus 2.5. Hasn't changed too much. Texas has struggled mightily in their past 2 games, and I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. I love the resiliency. That is what championship teams do. You find a way to win in which you probably should have lost the game. They did that in back-to-back weeks. There's something to be said about that. I know people are giving them a ton of crap for struggling with 2 of, if not the 2 worst teams in the SEC, in Mississippi State and Kentucky. But winning on the road in the SEC, it's hard to do. I don't care who you play. So I'm actually going to take up a little bit for Texas there. But here's what I will say. If you play the way you did against State and Kentucky, against Vanderbilt, they might blow you out of the water. Do I think Texas will play that way? No, and I hope they don't. But here, no, do I think Texas will play that way? No, and I hope they don't. But I've also seen Vanderbilt blow out a decent South Carolina team at South Carolina. Vanderbilt's going to score points. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'd be beyond shocked if Texas can hold them to under 20 points. And here's the thing. If Vandy scores around 24, 27, 28 points, I think that's going to be enough to win the game, maybe more than enough, because you know what we're about to talk about next leads me into my next topic perfectly, the Texas offense. Can we count on them? Can we depend on them? Heck to the no. We don't know what in the world we're going to get there, whether it's Arch Manning or Matthew Caldwell starting for this team. Take away Arch Manning being inconsistent. You know who else has been inconsistent? The offensive line. Sometimes they want to block. Other times, not so much. I'm not even talking about making the playoff and winning a championship. If you want to beat Vanderbilt this Saturday at 11 a.m. Central Time, you have to be consistent. You can't play great football for 70% of the game and bad football for 30%. No, you're going to lose. So here's my question. Here is my challenge for this Texas football team. Can you play an entire complete game? I know this is a big if, but if they do that, they win this game easily. But I don't think they're going to do that. You know what I think is going to happen? Vandy, like they've done with every team this year, even Alabama in the game in which they lost, they are going to give them fits and troubles on offense and defense. Texas is going to struggle to move the ball at times, and they're going to struggle to get off of the field. What makes Vanderbilt so good is their third down conversion rates, and their third downs are always super short. It's normally 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, and the playbook is wide open as offensive coordinator. And when you have Pavia as a quarterback, you can draw up anything. Run pass options. One of my favorite plays to look out for is that shovel pass. It's like the perfect pick and roll. You can't defend it if it's executed well. I think it's going to be an extremely close game. I can't wait for it. But at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, I can't pick against Texas at Texas. Can't do it. I got to go with the Sharknado and the Longhorns. They're going to be taking this one pretty low scoring. I'll say Texas 21, Vandy 17.
I don't know. Look. I'm going to say this might be a hot take, but I'm going to say Vanderbilt beats Texas. I think Vanderbilt's going to get it done. I believe that Diego Pavia, he will ball out against that Texas defense. He will. And if Arch Manning plays, Arch Manning will piss himself against that Vanderbilt defense, because that Vanderbilt defense is really good. Yeah, so I'm not going to say I don't see Texas winning, because I do think Texas could win the game, because it's supposed to be in Austin. I could see Texas winning, and I believe it's going to be a close game, but I'm leaning towards Vanderbilt to win. I'm leaning towards Vanderbilt.
21-17, mark it down. Moving along here to our second game of the video, second game of the preview. We got Oklahoma, the Sooners versus Tennessee. I have no idea what the line is for this game. If I had to guess what Oklahoma coming off of that not so great loss. Tennessee's going to be favored by about, we'll say 4 to 5 points. Pulling up the line right here. Oh, wow, I was pretty close. Tennessee is favored by 3.5. Not too bad, not too bad. Well, I just thought about this as I'm looking at it. Both teams are 6-2. Yep, this is a playoff game. Every game from this point on for Oklahoma and Tennessee is a playoff game. Winning, you're in. Simple as that. 10-2 in the SEC is more than enough to get in. Obviously, much easier said than done, because you got a big task on your hand. Not if you're just Oklahoma, but if you're Tennessee as well. Oklahoma's got some talent, man. They got the guys to compete. I know John Mateer's been struggling as of recent, but look at him early in the year. He was on fire. Everybody thought he was going to run with the Heisman Trophy. How does Oklahoma win this game? Well, for starters, and it all starts with him, Mateer's got to get his head out of his butt. He's got to play like I know he can play. He's better than what he's shown these past couple of weeks. There's no doubt about it in my mind. And I'm glad I brought it up because we talk about Archie Manning being inconsistent, but what about Mateer? He's been inconsistent. He looked awful in those final 2 drives against Ole Miss, and the thing that has set him back and set back this Oklahoma offense, his decision-making. He can't read and process the defense. Been making some terrible throws. On the flip side for Tennessee, don't even get me started. I love everything about this team, from Aguilar to Bishop, Brazil, man. I can't get enough of them. This is one of the better teams in the nation. I'm telling you, Tennessee's going to wake you up this Saturday night. Y'all are going to have to get over this whole stigma of, oh, well, Tennessee's got 2 losses. I'm just writing them off. No. Look who they lost to. And it's not like they got blown out. They competed in those games. The thing that does have me a little bit wary about Tennessee this year is the defense. It's not so great, but the offense, it more than makes up for it. One of the best offenses in the nation. I like the Oklahoma defense, but this is nothing more, nothing less than pattern recognition. If you couldn't stop Trindad Chambliss and the Ole Miss offense, why would that lead me to believe you're going to stop an even better offense and Josh Heupel, a.k.a. Bobby Heupel, Bobby Hill, and Joey Aguilar? You're not going to stop them. It's going to be worse. We know what's going to happen. They're going to establish a run. They're going to run all over you, and then Joey Aguilar is going to chunk up those, what they call them. See, the public calls them 50-50 balls where you just chunk one up, but Tennessee actually calls them 70-30, 80-20 balls because they think their star wide receiver, Brazil, he's just going to go up and get it. Worst case scenario, it's pass interference or it's incomplete. They don't even think, well, they could pick it off. No. That doesn't come across their mind. Here's what this game comes down to for me. I don't trust the Oklahoma offense. I don't trust the Oklahoma defense. So why in the world would I pick them in this game? I didn't even bring this up. It's on the road. Tennessee is better on offense.
Yep.
They're better on defense. They have the home field advantage. They also have the better head coach, and I think they have the better quarterback. So you probably know where I'm going with this. I got the Volunteers in this one. There's nothing that points to, oh, yeah, Oklahoma can pull off this upset, or we'll call it a mini upset. Nothing at all. This one,
Dude, yeah, look, I have to go with the Vols. I have to. Because, dude, Oklahoma has just looked poor recently. And, yeah, especially John Mateer. If John Mateer has a good game against Tennessee, then they have a good chance of winning. But I just don't trust Oklahoma getting the W against Tennessee, especially at Neyland at night. I don't see it happening. I think Joey Aguilar, Brazil, both of them, Brazil, hopefully I pronounce his name right, they're going to have a good game. They will play well. They will. Tennessee just looks like the much better team. I have to go with the Vols here. Have to.
it's fairly simple for me. I'll take the Volunteers in this one. We'll say Tennessee 37 to Oklahoma's 24. 37-24, mark it down. Kind of a high-scoring game, but it could get up there. I'm curious.
All right. Well, yeah, I saw him drop passes against South Carolina. But Ryan Williams, man, he's still dropping passes. Why?
Boys and girls, hope all of you having a great Wednesday. Hope all of you having a great week. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. And man, oh man, we got a jam-packed video for you today. We got not one, not two, but 3 topics to go over. One of those being, and no, this is not a joke, this is the realio dealio, Ed Ogeron is expressing interest in the LSU job. That's going to be interesting. But we also got to talk about how Nick is expressing interest in the LSU.
That would be cool if Ed Ogeron comes back to the LSU. That would be awesome. but we'll see. That would be cool to see him return to LSU.
Job. That's going to be interesting. But we also got to talk about how Nick Saban has finally spoke out about the Lane Kiffin situation and what he thinks he should do there. And last but not least, we got to talk about the man, the myth, the legend himself. He's on the cover of your NCAA 26 video game, Ryan Williams. He's still struggling to catch the football. What is going on with him? We got a plethora of topics to talk about. I'm excited. Hope you guys are excited as well. Hope you're getting ready for Halloween. I just got those in there. It is my second favorite holiday. I love this time of the year. Right where it's starting to get cold, around 45, 50 degrees. Oh, yeah, it's raining every day. That's my type of weather. But this is not a weather channel. Last time I checked, this is a football channel. So without further ado, let's get into it. First things first, let's get into this Ed Ogeron situation. We're not going to spend too long to talk about it, but I did find it interesting. So I figured, hey, why not? I share with y'all. In regards of returning to the LSU job, here's what he had to say, and I quote, "I'd love to. Are you kidding me? I just got to get in my truck, and I'll be there today." The funny thing about this is, if you know Ed Ogeron, you know.
All right, hold on. Let me make sure my stream's working. Okay, I'm good. Just making sure.
Dang well, he is not kidding. I've seen him talk about it from time to time. He's been doing some public interviews, and he has stated he's ready to get back into coaching. And I don't blame him. He's bored. That's the problem a lot of these coaches and these athletes face when they retired. Yeah, it's fun to sit around the house and do whatever for 6 months to a year, maybe 2 or 3 years. But eventually, you get tired and you miss competing. It's one of the things that I can speak for myself, but I can't speak for you. It gets me up every single morning. I love to compete. I know a guy like Ogeron, he's missing it. But on a serious note, is LSU going to consider him? Heck to the no. We know that's not going to happen. I'll tell you this much, and we'll end it off here. He would be a good interim head coach for LSU the remainder of the season, but as a long-term plan, absolutely not. I don't know if there's a better fit for LSU than Ed Ogeron when it comes to relatability, but when it comes to X's and O's, not so much. There's a reason he got fired. Let me know in the comment section what you think about that. Moving along here to topic number 2, let's take a look at what Saban had to say about this LSU, Florida, and Ole Miss job. Quote unquote, jobs that weren't great jobs before are now. Lane is the first name up for the Florida and the first name up for LSU, but I think can have a long debate on whether either one of those jobs is actually better than the job he has now, because he has some guys over there at Ole Miss that give him pretty much whatever he wants from a roster standpoint. Maybe you got alumni who are passionate about football, but are they willing to invest what you have to invest now to win? Because a lot of people don't believe in that crap, and you didn't say crap, but I'm going to mark that out because as y'all know, this is a family-friendly channel. Well, sometimes it's not when we read the comment section, but that's not stuff I'm saying. I'm just reading off your guys' weird, frinky-dinky comments. To go back to Nick Saban's point, I've said it a billion times. I guess I'll say it again here. Why would Kiffin leave Ole Miss? You win 8 to 10 games per year there. There'll be a statue of you. And he already has a playoff team. He has the resources. They give him enough money to compete in the NIL and transfer portal era. To me, this is nothing more, nothing less than common sense. And I don't want to toot my own horn or anything, but I beat you to it, Nick Saban. I've been saying this for weeks. It'd be a little bit different if the NIL boosters and alumni didn't believe in Lane Kiffin's mission and plan, and they weren't giving him enough doubloons to compete in the NIL department. But they are doing that. This isn't the first time I've said it. It's not going to be the last. Kiffin, he's not going anywhere. Moving along here to the main topic of the main encore, main reason you clicked onto this video. What in the world is still, let me say that word again, is still going on with Ryan Williams? I tweeted this out during the Alabama game. Ryan Williams dropped a pass? Huh? Yeah. Must be an Alabama football game. And that's how it feels. It really does. If you see number 2 wearing crimson and white drop a football pass, that is how you know you are watching an Alabama football game. And I mean that in the most respectful way possible. It's nothing but love. I got all love for Ryan Williams. I'm rooting for him. Heck, y'all know this. I'm a Bama fan. Do you think I enjoy getting up here and critiquing this man? Well, fun fact for you, I don't. But I have to call it.
Man, I don't like criticizing players at all. But sometimes you got to point out, you got to call it out at some point. You have to.
I see it. I'm being harsh on him because I expect a lot out of him. This is stuff I would say to my friends in my everyday life, my former teammates back when I used to compete, or my brother, anybody I have a relationship with. Let's address the elephant in the room, and no, I did not intend on that being a pun or a joke because Alabama, their mascot is the Elephants, but you get the point. Ryan Williams is still struggling. And when I say struggling, it is so frustrating because outside of the drop, he was magnificent. He was great. against South Kakalaki. He was Alabama's #1 wide receiver. He finished the day with 7 catches. I'll show it to you right here. He had 7 catches for 72 yards. But one of the biggest plays of the game, it was 4th down. Alabama was up 14-6. He catches that. Alabama's easily in field goal range. Bare minimum going up 17-6. Who knows? They might score a touchdown on that drive. He drops a wide open pass. It was a perfectly thrown ball, and heck, it was almost like a punt. He had to wait on it, and it looked like he messed up his timing a little bit with his feet. He wound up tripping, and he just dropped it. I could sit up here for the next 3 to 4 minutes and come up with all excuses in the world. There are no excuses. He just dropped the football. And I'm sick and tired of all these people trying to come up with excuses for Ryan Williams. Say, oh, well, mentally, it's hard. He's dealing with all this. No. You're just dropping the football. Stop with the excuses. Take accountability. And I'm talking to the fans. Just sit up there and say, hey, Ryan Williams, he's not a good catcher of the football at the moment. Maybe he'll work on that. Maybe he can improve. I've played a ton of sports in my life. I don't want this to come off as brash, arrogant, and cocky. Maybe it does. But I'm here to tell you, catching a football is one of the most routine things you can do in this life as an athlete. It is very routine stuff, and I mean that when I say it is the easiest thing you can do. I'd say fielding a ground ball, for those of you who don't know, I played baseball as well. It's harder than catching a football because a ground ball, it can take a bad hop. You got to adjust to it. But a perfectly thrown spiral like Ty Simpson throws to Ryan Williams, no, it's not going to take a bad hop. You know where it's going. You know where it's coming at. And that's why it irks me so much, and that's why I'm so passionate about this situation. It pisses me off for a guy to be as talented as Ryan Williams is, to be as special as he is, to be bad at something that is just so simple. I've had so many people on Twitter ask me, well, Matt, why do you think he's dropping these passes? Do you think he can work on this? Do you think he can work on that? I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but there's no fix to this. It is simple hand-eye coordination. Nothing more, nothing less. It goes back to something I've always believed in. Some athletes, they got it. And right now, Ryan Williams, he doesn't have it. I've seen a lot of people say this as well. Well, oh, he's in a sophomore slump. No, my brother in Christ. This isn't a slump. He's been dropping passes every single game this year. Here's another thing I want to talk about before we end off this video. It is quite clear and evident, I tried telling people this in the offseason, who Alabama's wide receiver #1 is. Jeremy Bernard. Not even up for debate at this point. Early on, some people were going to argue with me saying, Matt, remember Ryan Williams? He did the twirly 3000 against Georgia. I said, I don't care. Shut up, you nerd.
No, that was last year, man. That was last year. We talking about 2025, not 2024.
It's Jeremy Bernard, and you're going to learn this season, and, well, you've seen it. But one interesting thing to note is not only is Bernard wide receiver 1, Kevin DeBoer and Ryan Grubb, they trust Bernard way more. Have you noticed late in the game that Bernard, he'll take some carries, yes, that's right, you heard me correctly, carries at the running back position. You saw it against Kakalaki. He finished the game as the second leading rusher, which is not really a good thing, but he had 3 carries for 23 yards. And against Georgia in that game, which was, I know, dang near a month ago, he had 5 carries in that one. So as disappointing as the drops have been for Ryan Williams, and let me throw this in there, outside of the drops, Ryan Williams has been fantastic this year. It's just the drops are so devastating. But moving off of that, Mr. Jeremy Bernard has been Mr. Reliable, Mr. Consistent. Nobody has improved their draft start this year more than Bernard. I think he'd be a great wide receiver 2 in the NFL. Not a wide receiver 1, but wide receiver 2. I could see him, I'd say early second round, worst case scenario, late second round pick. We'll see what happens there. I do want to talk about this a little bit. Let me know your thoughts down below. But
yeah. Hopefully, Ryan Williams will improve. Hopefully, he can keep, catch those passes. All right, man. All right, what's next? What should I watch next? This one. All right, so DJ is wrong about the eye pokes. He's obviously he's talking about the whole Tom Aspinall and Cyril Gahn fight when Tom Aspinall got poked in the eye by Cyril Gahn, and the fight had to stop because Aspinall couldn't see.
So Dimitri. Chris Johnson had some very interesting takes about the whole eye poke situation, and I'm a big fan of DJ, but even a fan of a fighter could disagree with some of their takes. And man, I disagree with so much of what he said. So he had various points about how eye pokes cannot be solved. He says that it's a part of the sport, and he said that the main reason why fighters even throw them is based off a habit of the way they throw kicks, or it's an instinct for fighters to reach forward. And then later in the video, I'm going to get to what Jim Miller has to say because he has very different points than DJ, and I think he's correct. But we'll start with DJ first and then go to Jim Miller.
Once again, it's MMA. If somebody's coming at me and I go like this, it's my hands coming out. It's a natural reaction. It's a natural reaction. That's one thing people don't understand. Like when you do Muay Thai, when you kick.
Well, we'll see how fast the natural reaction dissipates when they start deducting points and reducing purses.
You need your hands out. Even in the gloves, when I throw a kick, my hands are open inside the gloves. You know, I love how people are like, oh, there's so many eye pokes in MMA. Guys, my fucking hands are open.
Well, we'll see how fast the hand starts closing when they start deducting points too. I think it will solve both of those issues.
Now, obviously, the fight in a controversial, I don't want to say controversial, but in an eye poke.
Wait, what? Wait, how is that not controversial? I'm pretty sure that's controversial. Like, I don't know how it isn't. But we can
Surreal hands was just deep in there. Deep.
continue.
And people don't understand. They always talk about, when are we going to fix eye pokes in mixed martial arts? Newsflash, you're never fucking going to do it. The reason why is because as human beings, our natural reaction when somebody comes towards us is to open my hands and stick my hands out.
Yeah, but wasn't the gloves that solves that eye poking issue? Like I think some of the Pride gloves had like a different design compared to the UFC gloves. Hold on, let me see. I think the Pride gloves was different. Pride FC gloves. Nah, they look the same as the UFC gloves. And didn't what's his name? The guy who trains Kamaru Usman and Gaethje. Trevor Whitman. Didn't he make some gloves? Did he invent some gloves that prevents eye pokes? Yeah, he did. All right, let's watch the video.
They throw a body kick. When you learn Muay Thai and you throw kicks, they don't teach you to throw them like this. They teach you to open your hands, you throw your hand, you put your hands in front of your opponent's face to block them, and then you throw like this. Boom.
Why don't we see this happen in Muay Thai then? If it's about developing a habit through training, because nobody trains Muay Thai more than Muay Thai fighters. Yet they don't have this issue at one championship where they wear 4-ounce fingerless gloves. They're wearing like the same gloves, but the eye pokes are not nearly as prevalent. If it's a Muay Thai habit issue, you would think eye pokes would be more prevalent in Muay Thai using 4-ounce gloves. It is not a habit issue. That's not the thing. Like maybe sometimes fighters will throw their hands at the eyes and it's an instinct and stuff, perhaps. But that's not the main issue. The main issue is that it's incentivized and fighters are very comfortable throwing their fingers open because the worst thing that can happen to them is a no contest. Generally, they'll win even if they poke their opponent in the eye. That is the truth of it.
I remember that. Like they basically, Chris Weidman basically won because he poked Bruno Silva in the eye, and they gave Chris Weidman the win, even though he poked Bruno Silva in the eye.
Are so lenient that it gives no fighters this sense of risk of throwing it. The worst case scenario from an eye poke is getting a no contest. We do not see disqualifications. We don't even see point deductions from eye pokes. And again, generally they win off of it. They poke their opponent in the eye, typically their opponent will continue, compromised, and then the guy who poked them proceeds to win the fight against his blinded opponent. And once referees start deducting points and reducing purses, you best believe this natural reaction, this Muay Thai habit, disappears. Because fighters would rather not lose a fight and lose money than open their hands throwing a kick. They can easily adjust to this, but they don't because it's incentivized. It could literally win them a fight. We've seen more fighters win off of eye pokes than lose. In fact, I've never seen a fighter lose because of an eye poke. Not one disqualification ever has happened, which is insane with fighters like John Jones and Cyril Gane and Chris Weidman and Nasruddin Imavov fighting in the octagon.
So if you look at Muay Thai guys, and when they throw a kick or kickboxers, granted you can't see Muay Thai guys' hands or kickboxers' hands because they're in the gloves. So why would the technique change when you get in little gloves? It's not like you can change the technique. To throw like this is not it's not natural. My hands are closed. In order for me to keep my balance when I throw a high kick, I have to open my hands, and I put my hands on listen to this, on my opponent's face.
I went back and tried to look at as many eye pokes as I can see from Muay Thai, and I swear I only found a handful of them within the last few years. Bro, the UFC has a handful of eye pokes on a single card. This is not a Muay Thai problem. Because if it is, then of course Muay Thai would have a bigger problem of it than MMA. And they don't. It's not even close. And it's the same thing that Jim Miller said. Jim Miller said if this is a natural part of the sport, then him having the most fights in UFC history should have a career of eye pokes. There's also Clay Guida and Diego Sanchez and Donald Cerrone and various other fighters who don't have a career of eye poking. If it is a habit issue, you would think all these various fighters of so many fights would be poking eyes based out of habit, and they don't. And I'll say this as well, just for argument's sake. Let's say I 100% agree with DJ's argument that this is a habit issue, man. This is the way we throw kicks. It's a part of the sport. And in result of it, there's going to be eye pokes. You can't escape it. You'll never be able to solve this issue. Okay, so go to a different sport then. If you can't stop poking eyes because you're throwing a kick a certain way, either you change the way you kick or you go to a different sport. That's it. These are professional fighters. I'm not going to give an excuse for professional fighters to not be professional. If they cannot fight in the bounds of MMA, then they should be going to a different sport. Full stop. But I don't agree with the argument because I think fighters can change their habits, can change the way they throw techniques. They do it all of the time.
Boom! That's a leg kick. That's a body kick. People don't realize that. And obviously the accident foul was an accident, right? But the way he had his hands on Tom Aspinall's face is the correct technique to do. It just went in his hands, right? If you go back and watch John Jones, he's a great eye poker, but if you go back and watch the greats who do body kick, if you go back and watch my fights, when I throw body kicks or I throw leg kicks, my hands are here, they're open. So once again, you're never going to fix eye pokes in mixed martial arts unless you put us in gloves that are like in actual like boxing gloves.
I don't think anybody
Actual
is arguing
boxing gloves? And have you seen Trevor Whitman's gloves, DJ?
that we can eliminate 100% of eye pokes. Of course that's impossible. Low blows are never going to go away. Eye pokes are never going to go away. We all know this. This is implicit. Like, it's without to be said. And that is not the point. Everybody's grievances with eye pokes is that they're way too common. It's literally ruining the sport. Like, we're saying we got to do something about the eye pokes. We all understand what the issue is, and these are the solutions for it. But then DJ on the other side is like, guys, it's never going to go away. This is the reason why fighters do it, so it's never going to go away. It's like, so we do nothing? Like, I don't get the point of it. It's not to eliminate 100% of eye pokes. Everybody agrees with that. Dude, basketball still has traveling and stuff. The point is to mitigate it so we don't have eye pokes on every single card. And yes, it can be mitigated. They should be applying all of their efforts to be pragmatic on mitigating these eye pokes. That is the focus. That is what we all want. Just as Jim Miller said. And honestly, I didn't think of the solution until Jim Miller mentioned it. So we'll finish this with DJ and I'll get to what Jim Miller said because Jim Miller is 100% correct.
And I think one of the reasons why everybody's so upset and they're kind of controversial is that
it was controversial, DJ. Come on, man.
Cyril Gane was fighting good. He was doing a great fight. I was impressed how Cyril Gane was able to maneuver and give Tom a hard time to track him down. Now, Tom did try for a takedown, and Cyril Gane was able to defend it. But that was the thing that was like, damn it, like, what would have happened if the fight would have gone on even more because Tom Aspinall was seeing a little adversity. He wasn't getting blown out, but he was being bloodied up, which you never seen him done that. We never seen him bloodied up before. And we had someone who was athletic, who looked fresh, who was game in order to, beat Tom Aspinall. Now,
Okay, so he's saying that the fans are upset and calling it controversial due to wanting to see more of the fight. I don't think that's really... I mean, yeah, sure. I think we're all quite upset of how the fight ended, which is why it definitely was controversial. The eye-poking issue is a separate thing. Like, this is not only about Tom Aspinall. This is a problem that is widespread across MMA. I've mentioned it on my last video. There have been so many fighters who have won fights off of eye pokes, who are not getting disqualified, who are not getting point deductions. Like, at least a point deduction would be sufficient. But we don't even get that. What we get is Chris Weidman throwing eye poke combinations at Bruno Silva and getting a TKO.
Yeah, eye poke combinations is crazy. Eye poke combinations.
Directly off of it. Or we get Manel Kep throwing the entire arsenal of eye pokes precisely at Asu Amabaev's left eye and then TKOs him. Like, bro, if that's an issue we can't solve, then might as well just make eye pokes legal. These aren't just random people that don't know what they're doing. These are professional fighters. If they can't stop throwing eye pokes when it's against the rules, I just would not call them professional fighters then. We don't hold these expectations for like professional basketball players. Like, bro, if LeBron James is traveling or he's carrying the ball, we expect that to be purposeful because he's a professional basketball player, right? But when it's a MMA fighter who pokes eyes, it's accidental. He doesn't know what he's doing. It's the way he's thrown kicks in Muay Thai. Really? I don't buy it. This is what Jim Miller had to say.
I've never tried to gauge the distance with my fingers open like that. I've never tried to prevent somebody from taking me down by sticking my hands out. And if you look at the guys with the most time spent in the octagon, you see a handful of fighters that you've never seen poke somebody. Like I can't remember seeing Frank Yeager poke somebody. I can't remember Dos Anjos poking somebody. I can't remember Clay Guida poking somebody. Like, if it was a natural part of the sport and something that is just going to happen, you would think that the fighters with the most time in the octagon would have just as many eye pokes as anybody else.
You want to know a secret? I've got hours inside the octagon wearing these gloves. It's not the gloves. Look, I can close my fist. I can bend the ends of my fingers without the glove even moving. So if it was the glove that held my hand open, I could still go like that. But like most of these eye pokes, it's like that. My hand's not getting held open like that. Are you fucking kidding me? What causes the eye pokes is that little bit inside that's like being passive and avoiding the fight and not being aggressive. And that little voice needs to get punished by an immediate point being taken away, and in my opinion, a portion of the purse. And then I think you would see him stop real quick, because it's not the gloves.
Jim Miller is 100% on point with this.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And honestly, I did not even think of the purse reduction as something that they could do, because the point deduction is one thing, but if they compound that with a purse reduction, it's a guarantee these fighters are going to change. 100%. Dude, like for an example, if Cyril Gane knew during training camp that he would get a 20% purse reduction if he pokes Tom Aspinall in the eye, that man is going to keep his fist closed until he leaves the arena. Bro would not even handshake anybody anymore. He would be fist bumping, taking showers with his fist, wiping with his fist. He would make sure to build the habit of not extending his fingers. And shout out to Jim Miller for honestly giving an insightful solution to this. But what do you guys think the purse reduction should be? Is 20% too low? Now that I'm thinking about it, I think it is too low, because an eye poke can literally win the fight. I think it should be scaled. So like, okay, let's say it's just a point deduction. Should that be a 20% purse reduction too? Or should it be like half? I mean, half is pretty crazy for a point deduction. Maybe a disqualification or a no contest results in a 50% reduction. Maybe that's what it is. Leave in the comments below, how would you scale the purse reductions? Because that is quite interesting. And I know what everybody's wondering. Where does Kevin Lee fit into all of this? Because he has appeared suddenly out of nowhere to give his take as well. And he says in 22 fights in the
And 22 fight. Okay, let's
UFC,
let the weasel
I have never
read.
once eye poked somebody. I'm starting to think guys are doing it on purpose. Refs should take more points. At the same time, a lot of these guys are faking. And why wouldn't the fighters be doing this on purpose? It's encouraged by the way the referees react to them.
If I throw 1,000 kicks on a bag like this, boom, boom, boom. This is called hand exchange. Hand exchange. I throw 1,000 kicks in the bag this day or in a week, 2 weeks. I train 8 weeks. That's 8,000 kicks a week. And all of a sudden, when I get in a fight, I'm self-naturally supposed to go like this. Get the fuck out of Dodge.
But same with Muay Thai fighters. They've trained thousands of kicks and stuff too, and again, they don't have the same issue. And DJ also hasn't poked anybody in the eye either, so it's definitely not a Muay Thai issue. We know that for a fact. It's not a habit issue. Muay Thai fighters don't eye poke as much. Kickboxers don't eye poke as much. DJ doesn't eye poke. I think you should extend that to other fighters too. Like, he says he learned to throw kicks like that as well, and he has those instincts, but how is he able to maintain professionalism, but he's giving excuses for other fighters who can't?
Now, people got to realize, you're never going to get rid of eye pokes in mixed martial arts because we have our hands exposed. We need our hands exposed. Why? When I parry a jab, you don't parry jab like this. You parry jab like this. Baseball catch or parry jab, parry cross like this. My hands are open, not like this. When my hands are like this closed, I am tense. My hand is tense. That's why when I fight, if you watch my fights, I'm like this. I'm moving like this. I could be faster this way than like this. It's just the instincts of the physicality of like fighting.
Yeah, but they shouldn't extend those fingers directly in the eyes, right? That's something they shouldn't do. Like, I get if, like, for an example, the other guy runs into your fingers and you weren't even trying to extend your fingers out there. Like, I get it. Happens with low blows too. Some people step and causes the low blow to happen. Sure. But that is like not even 10% of eye pokes. Most of eye pokes are fighters literally extending their fingers, trying to give them a lobotomy. You know, that's what fighters are doing. I don't expect professionals that do this as a living to cheat because, hey man, this is just the way I throw kicks. I can't help it, dude. It's just the way I train. It's like, okay, then change the way you throw kicks. Change the way you train. What? Or go to a different sport. Why do we got a Lethway fighter throwing headbutts? That's just how he grabs for a clinch. Give an excuse that that's the way he trains. You know? And dude, it's quite interesting.
Headbutts in a Muay Thai fight?
Don't extend the same excuse to fighters that low blow because they throw kicks a different way. How come we don't extend the same excuse to fighters who low blow? Hey man, this is just the way I throw kicks. And this is also for Cyril Gane as well. Like, dude, the guy is a professional MMA fighter at the highest level of the heavyweight division, of course. He was a former interim champion, multiple-time title challenger. I'm sorry, I do not expect him to cheat. And I am not going to give any excuse to a fighter at that level to cheat because that's just the way he trains.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to cheat. Like, you're a high-level fighter. You're an elite fighter. Why cheat? That doesn't make any sense.
And the guy cheats in almost all of his fights in different ways. Bro has all the cheating moves in his skill set. He pokes eyes, he low blows, he fence grabs, he hits to the back of the head. Are all of these part of his training too? Like, come on, dude. We can't give these fighters excuses for that, you know?
When you learn how to kick, they say open your hands. It's called hand exchange. I'm hand exchange because I want to block my opponent's vision. And damn, let me tell you, Cyril Gane did a great job blocking that vision. Okay,
He sure
I want
did.
to I want to block his vision so he does not see the leg kick. You could do it by punching, which is not the best way. 1, 2, 9, or 1, 3, 10. But naturally, even when I throw my leg kicks, my hands are coming out because I spent 15 years throwing kicks this way, and that's how they teach you: is to open your hands and spread them and spread your fingers and kick your opponent. Thank you, baby. Whether it lands, you know, your hands are on their face, but it is the proper technique to do that. And people don't realize that. When you see Muay Thai guys, you can't see because they have boxing gloves on, but their hands are open when they throw. It's just something that you can't avoid. Like, I love how everybody's like, oh man, when are we going to fix eye pokes in MMA? You're fucking never going to be able to fix it. My hands are open. They're open. It is part of fighting. And for an athlete to extend his hands like that to throw, it's just proper technique of throwing that's specific technique. Now, I've never eye poked somebody in my career, right? I'm grateful I have. And there's been a lot of people who've been able to use that exact same technique and not eye poked. But I just think that it's just part of the game.
So this is just the same point again. Again, Muay Thai fighters train Muay Thai more than MMA fighters do. They don't have nearly as much of an issue. And even if we grant DJ's argument, the solution to it would still be what Jim Miller said. Point deductions, purse reductions. Problem solved. So that's my take. And shout out to DJ. And even though I'm a big fan, fans could disagree with fighters they're fans of. And he made 2 different videos talking about it. And it's like, okay, I disagree with this so much, I had to make a reaction to it, And that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoy the content. Hope you guys enjoy the video. And
All right, man. I want to see what the comments are saying on this one, on this video. DJ said all of that, then said, "I've never poked anyone in the eye," which is exactly our point. It's personal discipline. Yeah, I should have said something about that. I should have. DJ defending eye pokes is like Chael defending Raja. Derek Lewis said it perfect. We are professionals. You think I'd do anything on accident? I don't. Yeah. To stop eye pokes that would be a good solution, just to take some money out of their purse. Take a certain percentage out of their purse to stop the eye pokes. And what DJ was saying about the eye pokes, like it's natural and it happens, while also saying that he's never poked anybody in the eye. Just it's kind of wild. but look, and I hope we don't see any more. Well, not see any more, but hopefully it won't happen so often in the future. But obviously it's just going to keep happening, unfortunately. All right, moving on. All right, it's almost 9:30. Let's watch this. All right, stream still working, still up and running. All right. The Nina Lynn situation got worse.
He ran away. Why did he run away? Because I was trying to give him a dance last night. And I'm going to hold him down. You do it. Okay, girl. No!
Cannot believe that Nina is unbanned. Nina pretty much at the streamer games him.
Things have gotten a lot worse with the Nina and Zoe Spencer situation that's been going on, with the essay of Saeed, even him coming out and speaking on the situation, along with more people coming out and speaking with the bad experiences they had with Nina Lynn, specifically that being In Disguise Toast, and a lot of other streamers championing them to get banned after Twitch made one of the worst decisions possible. It's genuinely really bad, and it all starts right here when we have more evidence of Nina Lynn and Zoe Spencer being weird to Saeed.
Why? Chat. Why my boyfriend here? Why my boyfriend here? He didn't
Boyfriend?
say hi. Boyfriend.
Man, look at him, just running away, man. I would run away too, man. I don't blame him.
Boyfriend. Boyfriend. He ran away. He ran away. Why did he run away? Because I was trying to give him a dance last night. And I'm going to hold him down. You do it. Okay. She said she going to hold him down.
Said hold him down. Like, why? Why do that? Like, he doesn't want y'all. Like, why just try to go after him? I don't get it.
Hey, come.
Oh my god, you're the girl Saeed been saying so much about.
He has his.
Yeah.
You've been talking about me?
Oh no.
Wait, the kids.
As you can see, it's pretty much the exact same situation as the last clips, with Saeed actively running away, people even in the chat saying no, him not wanting to the point where Nina Lynn had to come and hold him down so Zoe Spencer could give him another dance, as he's actively denying wanting this. I don't understand how these situations come about where we are on the next day after everyone around them said they don't want this to happen, and they go and do it again. It's pretty dumb. And yes, these clips are pretty old, but it makes you wonder why Saeed didn't come out and talk about it earlier, because that's what a lot lot of people are pointing to and alluding to, the point where he went on his own stream to discuss the situation, to further explain why he didn't come out originally, because of some past experience that had already happened that made him pretty traumatized to want to relive them.
Honestly to God, it was doing a lot towards me, and the reason why I didn't say anything about it on stream or anything like that is I've dealt with something like this before, and I didn't want to. When I dealt with it originally, I was working at a job, and it was a gym, and I told my boss about it, and all he did was make jokes about it, and I tried to talk
Man, he made jokes about it, man.
about it a lot more, and I didn't want to tell my parents.
That's
and
tough.
It did affect me a lot, and this situation did bring back those memories, and it was hard to move past it originally.
It truly is understandable, especially even after making my own video of this, watching other people's videos, and looking at the comment sections and certain things people are saying. People are genuinely calling him gay or saying all types of crazy stuff because he
Yeah, it's just stupid. And well, it is stupid. It's stupid. But I'll talk about it more.
want two girls to dance on them. Genuinely, I don't know how freaked out you have to be to hear no several times, but not only one person, two people, a cameraman, and a crew of people behind you, and still think that is an okay thing to do that. And you, as an audience member seeing this, again, have to be too freaked out if you think that somebody would just fall over backwards to get a dance from a girl. If you're saying no, then no means no. And genuinely, a lot of people understand his reaction to not want to come out initially, people being like fan, because of the reaction that a bunch of people online are having, making it even harder after the situation got brought up, and even with the amount of support, the amount of negativity that's coming with it.
I just think it was so awful to watch. And they were saying like he likes it, and they were saying like, oh well, it's a, or Nina said like responded to Rage, and I forget who, but Nina was like it's embarrassing for guys to be he should be embarrassed as a man. And then I saw people like commenting being like, oh, it's so triggered. People commenting like how is he as a man unable to push two girls off of him? Like, he's clearly laughing in the clip. He's not, how she's supposed to know he was uncomfortable? But it's, they've never, what? Like, this is literally why men don't come out about being, like, how are you gonna, he was like repeatedly saying no in the clip as well. And like, that is more than a lot of people can do in those situations, you know?
After all of the support Saeed was getting and all the hate Nina and Zoe Spencer were getting, it only made sense that eventually Twitch, the platform that they are all doing all this on, would have to step in and take a stance on this topic, as all of the top streamers were talking about it and saying how these people should be banned. And eventually that was what would happen. Zoe Spencer along with Nina Lynn both got banned. Unfortunately, they were unbanned basically immediately, like under 24 hours for Zoe Spencer and under 48 hours for Nina Lynn. So at the end of the day, they did a bunch of nothing, and a bunch of people were upset about it, and Twitch just not caring, it seems like, with two SA situations and giving these people a slap on the wrist.
And I think that right now, I would call on every other creator to call this out and to say this. These are 3 separate instances of 2 people restraining a person and performing a act on them against their consent on this platform. Every advertiser, every executive, every Amazon owner, every partner on Twitch should know about this happening. This is disgusting. It is disgusting. And the fact is that there is no other way to deal with this other than a permanent ban. I don't see how you can have 3 separate instances of occur, and the way that you, and it would be one thing if they didn't respond. It would be one thing if they said, oh, it's not a bit, they didn't, you could say, oh, they didn't see it. But why did they do anything? It's because they did see it.
There's really no leeway you can ever give Twitch in this situation, especially after coming right from the Emerald situation as well, where they basically did a bunch of nothing. Now we're transitioning here where they have video proof of this, where they have multiple people speaking out, where they have the person in question and the people in question all saying that they are apologizing, all saying that this did happen, and the only thing that they do is ban them for basically under 24 hours. And in the midst of all of that, people started digging up even more clips, and another clip of Nina Lynn came out that had people wondering how she is not getting banned. And it had to do at the streamer games with another streamer named Disguised Toast, where she was trying to perform a massage on him, but got very touchy in certain areas that he probably didn't want her to.
Please, no. You ready, Emily? You ready?
Yeah, go ahead, Nina.
All right.
Okay,
I know. Okay, girl.
No!
Okay, why?
Nina! Oh my!
Why does she keep touching his butt?
Wow, you have the best
He touching his bum.
Wow, she is so bold. You love to see it.
All right.
So bold, so bold. Yep, keep it up. Yep.
Now, if you're unaware of the streamers in this situation, that is this guy's Toast laying on the bed. He is another popular streamer who's in the Poggers community and normally just plays games and does a bunch of desktop streams. And in that scenario, they were at an IRL event called the Streamer Games, where a bunch of streamers come together to participate in some Olympic type things that's meant to be very fun. In this situation, he was going to get a massage by actual masseuses that were there, and all of a sudden, Nina Lynn decided to give him a massage anyway, because it would be a pretty lighthearted joke since she isn't an actual masseuse. But then she started concentrating too much on the specific area of his body that made a bunch of people concerned and pulled this clip back up. And originally, Toast never spoke on the situation or even said anything, but because a bunch of people were asking about his thoughts on the situation, he actually ended up putting out a tweet that described how he felt about the moment. This clip is going around with the recent convo, so I'll address it. I was trying to get a massage from a physical therapist when Nina, an IRL streamer I've never met, pushed aside the therapist and started grabbing at my so I was already laid on the table. I felt pressure to go along with it because 3 IRL streamer cameras pointed at my face, and also being at a sponsored event, I did not want to escalate the situation. I was extremely uncomfortable the whole time. Definitely should have said something in the moment and regret not doing so. And honestly, a little ashamed of myself for not speaking up, because I just know if I ever spoke about it again in the future, people will say, well, you should have stopped it then. Generally, that's pretty understandable from the Sky's Toast. When Nina, a person you don't know, is coming up and touching you in any way, or any person you don't know is coming up and touching you in any way, you're going to be extremely uncomfortable. Then they start grabbing at your, it makes sense why you would not want that to happen. And again, I could see why he doesn't want to speak up about it, especially if you see how people are treating Saeed and the way that he is going about his situation. It makes it 10 times worse. But maybe he did come out and speak about it and address it and say something and express that he also disliked what she was doing. So it comes into question again why Nina Lynn and Zoe Spencer are unbanned. You can't really fathom it. You have more and more people, more and more clips, and more evidence of their weird behavior happening on Twitch, and yet it's seeming like Twitch just doesn't care. It's the point where more streamers are calling out this behavior, specifically Valkyrie, who even called for them to be banned again.
I cannot believe that Nina is unbanned. Toast tweeted a video of Nina pretty much at the streamer games him and massaging his ass at a massage table. And he said that he was uncomfortable the whole time, and he didn't even know her. It just, yeah, Toast. No excuses for that. I just don't think she should have been unbanned. I think it's crazy that she was unbanned a day later after the Saeed situation.
This entire situation as a whole is, again, genuinely sad and should have easily been fixed by Twitch. The amount of people speaking out about it, the amount of people bringing attention to it, the amount of people calling for some sort of action, yet it just seems like Twitch not only doesn't care, but refuses to do anything. And I would like to say this is like a double standard thing, but genuinely Twitch doesn't seem to care about SA related situations as a whole, because it's not just Saeed, it's not this entire Nina situation with this guy's Toast, it's literally every situation. We can see that with Emeru when they originally said they were going to ban some guy that actually touched her in real life without her consent for only 30 days.
I
30 days.
noticed a lot of negligence around the event, and I'm not happy with the way that they're handling it now. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, well, I asked them, you know, like, what are they gonna do about this? And you know what they said initially? They said, oh, well, he's banned from the platform for 30 days. And then she's obviously like, hello? Like, that needs to be indefinite. What the fuck are you talking about? Also, that's like nothing to do with anything. No one gives a fuck if he's banned on Twitch or not. Like, we're talking about the convention here.
It doesn't matter if something happens in real life. It doesn't matter if something happens on their platform. It doesn't matter if a bunch of people are speaking out about it. A bunch of the top creators are talking about it. A bunch of these people's fans are asking for some change. Twitch as a platform genuinely just does not seem to care, and will platform literally anybody no matter what they have done, no matter the amount of evidence that has come out about them. And it genuinely is one of the worst things in the entire world, to the point where I'm assuming a lot of streamers are going to want to switch off of that platform or genuinely resent the place that they stream on. And it makes you question how this platform is as big as it is when they allow things like this to consistently happen. Like, we're only talking about this situations now, but if you go back and look at Twitch's history, they platform some of the worst people and continue doing so because they genuinely do not care about making a difference, making a change, or having a platform where people can actually feel safe and express themselves, because all of they're worried about out is getting the most money out of literally any and everybody. It doesn't matter apparently in their eyes what you've done on the platform as a creator or as a viewer. It needs to change, and I hope in the future, with more people speaking out about it, it does change. But at the end of the day, that is just how I feel. If you want to tell me how you feel, the best way to do that would be the comment section down below. If you did enjoy this video, maybe consider giving it a
Yeah, it's bad. It's obviously bad. Like there's a double standard going on with Twitch. It is. Like I don't want to be that guy, but and pretty much everybody else has called it out, but it is an issue. Like I said it a couple of times. Twitch has banned Speed for 2 years over a joke, and Jadeon for 2 years over hate rating Pokimane, and banned Aiden Ross for unmoderated chat, I think, for 2 years. While you have women who's been doing crazy stuff on Twitch. Crazy stuff. Like SA, and other stuff that I'm not going to get into. But they only get a slap on the wrist. I really don't understand that, and it has been happening for technically a couple of years now. It doesn't make any sense. It makes zero sense, and I don't know why they're doing that. Why they're doing that? I don't know. But that's just how they are at this point. That's just how they are. They've been doing that for a couple of years, and that's just how they are. All right. Why everyone hates FaZe? Let's watch this.
If you're not standing with FaZe, because we go our way, we show love to everybody.
Oh, we're racist, oh, we're homophobic, but there's no proof, because we're not. I genuinely enjoy being around black people more than white people. I'm so serious. I don't care. I do, bro. You can't call me racist.
Amidst all the QT Cinderella drama, somehow FaZe got caught in the crosshairs and is now facing all types of accusations. First of all, that they are racist, transphobic, homophobic, and anything you could ever put under the sun, and that they're not really an accepting community at all. For a lot of you, you might be curious to understand why and not really get it, but it all stems from one clip on a call with QT Cinderella when she said this.
This is my perfect example. It's like, okay, I collab with Lacey. Lacey makes some homophobic jokes sometimes that I am not comfortable with the homophobic jokes Lacey has made. Lacey knows that he can't make those jokes around me. That does not mean that I am homophobic. Believe it or not, everybody. You are not who you associate with. Like, shut the fuck up. You're like, you don't build bridges by burning them. That's not how it works.
I'm not gonna dive too deeply into my feelings about that clip because I have an entire video.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. You know, like just because you may hang out with that person, that doesn't mean you agree with everything that they say. It doesn't mean that you have the same type of humor, or like you have the same humor as that person.
Breaking it down if you want to go watch it. But because of these comments from QT Cinderella, a lot of people were pointing their finger at FaZe, calling them all types of crazy things, basically giving them a lot of backlash when really they weren't involved. And honestly, it's really because QT brought up Lacey, who was a prominent member in FaZe. It made sense that the next course of actions would be that FaZe was going to see this clip and all give their reactions to it, which happened with Stable Ronaldo when he eventually ended up seeing this clip.
Why do people think that FaZe Clan is just like, I'm not even kidding when I say this. I don't even know if this is a crazy take. I don't know if I'm gonna get called like insane for this, bro. I don't even think like, bro, I do not even care if anyone around me is gay. It doesn't involve my life. How do you become homo? Like, I don't get it. I don't care at all. It doesn't affect me. It literally doesn't affect me. Like, I don't understand this. Same with being trans. Like, what? Like, that's not even a crazy take. There's probably so many people in here who are homophobic, probably. There probably is, bro. But it's like, it's the internet, bro. I'm not homophobic. I don't understand how FaZe Clan is always associated with homophobia. Like, I literally shouted out Arky when he tweeted that he was gay. Like, what?
Now keep it a buck. Shouting out somebody just because you think they're gay will not automatically make you not homophobic anymore. That was him just clip farming. I'm obviously able to notice noticed that. And I do want to say this now, this is coming from a place of bias. This whole video probably be very biased because I like some people in FaZe. And genuinely hearing that people think that they're homophobic, transphobic, and racist makes me very curious as to why they would believe so. So obviously I looked up FaZe and was curious of what clips they were pulling up to see why they think this way. And genuinely the clips that I was seeing made me very confused because most of the time they looked like this.
Yeah.
You ready for girls' night?
I'm hyped.
Oh my goodness, girly pop. Here, jump up and down and do girly pop. Change the bathroom. He looks so good. You're such a cutie.
I mean, come on, like, dude, Aiden's been doing that for years, and that's how he blew up. That's how Aiden got rich, pretty much, doing gay jokes.
Girly pop, girly pop, girly pop, girly pop, girly pop, girly pop. Come on, Dad, come on.
I have that emote.
Come on.
I have the emote. Oh.
Clock it.
I would be lying to you if I understood why apparently this clip is meant to be homophobic, because that clip you were seeing was meant to be an example of them being homophobic that somebody had posted on Twitter. And genuinely, I don't get it because it was them having a girls' night and just acting as if they were being girls. Like, genuinely doesn't really equate to them being homophobic in my eyes. But and I'll be honest, outside of that clip and the QT clip, people really weren't bringing any new evidence to show that FaZe was homophobic. Yes, they were still getting blasted all over Twitter, to the point where even more FaZe members came to the forefront to explain that they do not support any type of homophobia, racism, or anything like that.
The W and L community gets so much hate for being apparent racist, apparent homophobes, whatever, but the Pogger side, the sexual, all this type of, we get all the hate.
Yo, that's I don't know. Look, all them.
You don't gotta
Literally,
take on it.
there's
It's just
10
like,
worse
that's a
issues going
fact.
on right now in the stream.
I don't understand.
I also said that. The Parker side got some most niggas that can get people locked up for, but we the bad
people. We're the bad people doing all.
Like, if you're not standing with FaZe, because we go our way to do content, we do content with ourselves, we do content with other people, we show love to everybody. Not one community will ever feel left out, ever, bro. We show love to every single community. Free Palestine, cancer, ICE, nigga. This is been saying this shit the entire time, bro. We don't have to sit here and openly be on some, yo, we love these people, we love these people. We have never shown no hate to any group, ever. It's all love. So anybody coming out their mouth, nigga, go get your mans that sit here to people, nigga. Fuck you talking about, nigga? And talk about it, nigga. Fuck you talking about?
Again, I did go out of my way to try and find clips of FaZe being racist, homophobic, all of these things, and genuinely couldn't find any. So if you're in the comment section,
Yeah, I don't see it either. Like, what makes you think that?
I'm wrong, FaZe is wrong, definitely send those clips my way because I'm fine with being wrong and being corrected. But as of right now, the one clip I saw of them doing anything that people apparently had an issue with was them being girly while having a sleepover. And genuinely, that doesn't really prove anything in my eyes or point me in a direction to believe that they would be this way. A lot of people also have been pointing out things that FaZe have done in order to show that they are not homophobic or anything like that. That being Marcus King, who went on stream to talk about a situation that happened with Sketch when he was outed in a situation, and most people that had his back were FaZe.
Cause we got, bro. People should be able to make jokes without being labeled such harsh terms. Let's think about real world scenarios. When the shit with Sketch came out, right? Where this is a real life scenario. There's no jokes. This is no this, that, and the third. Real life scenarios. FaZe niggas was the niggas that really kept them up here. He said all the time, he might have not been here if it wasn't for them niggas, right? That shows niggas true characters when it comes to some shit. You can't put some shit like that. Like, you can't put a term like that when we seen in a real life scenario how these niggas act, which is so crazy to me, bro.
I understand what Marcus is saying, and outside of the internet stuff, they genuinely do support people who are of these groups and go out of their way to help them in ways that they possibly can. Like, again, in that Sketch scenario, he got exposed, and the people that were most there for them was everybody inside of FaZe. So it makes sense. And I would like to say that a lot of the FaZe people are trying their best to show that they are not homophobic, that they are not any of these tragic things that a bunch of people are trying to claim they are. But a lot of the stuff does not really help as much as they feel like they do, especially when they go out of their way, like Lacey, to try and point out why he's not any of these things like racist by saying he is around black people and likes being around, because at the end of the day, that amounts to basically nothing if we're being honest.
Bro, I'm gonna be honest, and this is probably gonna get clipped as somehow misconstrued. I genuinely enjoy being around black people more than white people. I'm so serious.
That is such a weird comment. Weird.
I'm so serious. I don't care. I do, bro. You can't call me
do.
Yo, bro. I just know they're gonna figure out a way to twist that.
Go ahead.
Dick munchers.
I have so much more fun when I'm around people of different ethnicities and people of different color, bro. It's way more fun for me.
Essentially saying you have black or minority friends, again, doesn't stop you from being racist. That's definitely not the case. I understand Lacey's trying to come from a good place, but that definitely wouldn't be the way of saying it. And in all reality, again, I don't feel like the face.
Yeah, the delivery was just bad.
These are really racist. Most of these jokes that I have been seeing or any clips that I have been seeing are things that a lot of people say and actually aren't that malicious. It's not outright blatant racism. It's not outright blatant homophobia. And it definitely isn't something that's destructive enough that it should be getting called out to the masses as much as it is, at least in my opinion. But at the end of the day, it is just how I feel. If you want to tell me how you feel, the best place to do would be the comment section down below. If you did enjoy this video, maybe consider giving it a like. And if you enjoy content like this, maybe consider subscribing. So I post.
All right, the video's pretty much over. We all know. We all know the FaZe isn't, you know, they're not bigots. All right. All right, I got a couple of bookmarks, and I don't have time to watch this one. But I mean, I'll probably watch a little bit of it. But hold on, let's watch this one first. Okay. Erling Haaland doesn't know what to say when his girlfriend admitted that she was in love with his best friend before him. All right, so this clip has been going viral, obviously. 35 million views. Yeah, this has been going viral. All right, let's see what happened here.
And so he was the one I did like first, and then when I saw you, so he was the one I did like first.
She said he was the one that I did like first, and Erling Haaland's just smiling. He's like, he don't even know what to say.
When I saw you, I changed my view to you. And then you had a very nice song. I do think it's fake, but you don't. I asked you this question before. I asked, like, I think this is fake for us to meet. And you was just like, you think?
All right.
Or maybe that just means that she saw Erling Haaland, and Erling Haaland obviously is more famous and is one of the best footballers in the world and playing for Man City. Yeah. That's probably why she's so attracted to him, is because of his status. Probably. I'm just saying. Yeah, that's pretty embarrassing to say that. That's pretty embarrassing. Like, she's probably just ruining the relationship, and she doesn't even realize it. But I hope everything works out. All right. Justin Bieber opens up about dealing with hate comments on Twitch after one particularly hurtful remark got to him during his first week of streaming.
Like, I don't know any of these people, and like going on Twitch is like vulnerable as hell, because like people who just feel shitty about themselves project, and then they like write mean ass things, you know what I mean? Like, it's already hard enough to put yourself out there, and then you gotta read like, oh man, like,
right.
I read a comment, it was like the night after I was playing basketball, I was exhausted as hell, and they were like, Justin's not his exuberant, he'll never be his exuberant self ever again. Like, he's lost his like charisma. I was like, what? I'm like, I just played basketball last night. I'm just tired. Like, and we're talking about emotional things. So like, of course I'm gonna be like, it's not always like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? But like, then I start getting in my head, like, man, did I lose my, did I lose my charisma and like my exuberance? Like, I have a zest for life, and like
All right, so obviously the comments are getting to him, but look, if I was Justin Bieber, I would be thinking, dude, I'm Justin Bieber. Like, I'm one of the biggest artists in the world. Like, I'm rich and famous. Like, yeah, yeah, I heard people have been rich and sad before, but come on, like you Justin Bieber, rich and famous. That wouldn't hurt me if I was Justin Bieber. That wouldn't hurt me at all. All right, one day you'll tell people you witnessed the moment everything changed. Neo the home robot ordered it today. Okay, I won't watch the whole video, but this looks very interesting.
My name is Bernd, and today we're launching Neo, our humanoid for the home.
Neo, the robot, Nini.
Let you live with it.
Yeah.
You're just not telling me? Well, what does it do?
Like my chores, I just leave and I come back and they're all done.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Bro, dude, that looks cool. This looks cool. You know the video game Detroit Become Human? You remember when all the YouTubers were playing those games? That game? Detroit Become Human? That game looks more and more realistic. It's pretty much predicting the future. Maybe not the part when the androids rebel. Hopefully that won't happen. Well, with those with these robots. But this Detroit, that video game's pretty much predicting the future right now. All right, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit.
Reading these beautiful books and watching these beautiful sci-fi movies where the future was all about how we as humans, we really focus on the things that matter to us.
All right, let's see the robot.
Neo was engineered from the ground up for safety. Its tendon-driven body is quiet and lightweight. Its low-energy motions make it uniquely safe for you and your home. But safe doesn't mean limited.
All right. The robot is 5'6", 66 pounds, 4 hours battery life with fast charging, soft body made from 3D. Okay, I'm not pronouncing that. One Cortex, 22 DOF, 154. It can lift 154 pounds and carry 55 pounds. Okay, interesting. 4 mics, 360 audio pickup, 3 speakers for immersive sound. This is
Neo's
interesting.
hardware comes packed with features like human-level dexterity and a 55-pound carrying capacity so that it can handle any of your chores reliably. We also worked really hard to make Neo's design friendly and comfortable to be around. Each Neo comes with a machine-washable knit suit, a head, and shoes that you can customize to fit your style. As for using your Neo, we made the experience simple. Out of the box, the core of your experience is fully autonomous. The chores feature lets you schedule a time for your Neo to do
Okay, so it's got an app for it.
chores,
Okay,
so
cool.
you can come back to a cleaner home every day. With the AI companion feature, you can talk to your Neo to get assistance with anything from a hard question to a household task. With Neo's autonomy,
Dude, that's sick.
you can get access to all of its latest AI features to get help with tasks on demand. And the Neo app lets you interact with your Neo from anywhere. But all you have to do to get started is turn on your Neo and introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Neo. I'm here to help around the house. What's your name?
Harry.
Nice to meet you, Harry. When you have a question or want something done, just let me know.
Dude, I love this. I love this.
We built the chores feature to give you your time back. You give your Neo a list of chores, you schedule a time that you want them done so that you can focus on what matters to you while your Neo does the rest. You can schedule chores by either talking to your Neo or using the app. The way it works is you schedule a time that works best for you, and then you create a list of chores. Whether it's something more specific, like watering the plants on Tuesdays, or something more general, like tidying the house. Your Neo
Okay,
will get
cleaning the house and watering the plants. Okay.
effective intervention to help Neo complete any task.
Just organizing stuff. Vacuum, laundry. Empty dishwater. I mean, I said dishwater. Dishwasher. Cleans the bathroom too. Knows how to wash his hands or its hands. Self-charge enabled. I wonder how much it costs. Companion?
Find my glasses. Is this paprika?
No, that's cayenne pepper. Also, your glasses are on your shirt.
What?
Could I use this in my chili?
They're both made from chili peppers, and you could put cayenne in your chili, but it is
Dude, I love this, man. I love this.
much spicier.
Neo is a speech-enabled AI companion made for any kind of conversation. Where other AI assistants are, for example, and the light rings express Neo's intentions. Its audio intelligence can also pick up on whether you are addressing it or someone else in the room to decide if it should respond or not. As you might expect from a home robot, talking to Neo with natural language is the primary user interface for all of Neo's functionality, including autonomy.
Autonomy.
Your Neo comes with Redwood AI, enabling it to do basic household tasks autonomously.
Yeah. No, for sure. Okay, one sec. All right. Yeah.
Hey, Neo! Can you get the door, please?
Oh, it can close the door, open it or close the door for you? Dude, this is sick. This is so cool, man. I would love to have this. I would love to.
Neo's autonomy works by taking requests like,
Hey, Neo, can you take this cup to the sink for me?
and breaking it down
Putting
into
away
simple steps,
dishes.
such as walking to the person, grabbing the cup, and then walking the cup to the kitchen, and then putting it away. Neo's autonomy improves with diverse data and real-world experience. As Neo does more chores, you'll receive updates to your Redwood model that increase the complexity of tasks that Neo can handle, such as finding your keys and wallet,
Find keys and wallet.
or doing a full laundry cycle end-to-end.
Bring in groceries. Feed the dogs. Tidy living room. Of course, laundry.
Capable of helping you with anything around the house.
Life. Now, the journey there is not going to be perfect, and we're not going to pretend it's going to be. But as someone who lives with Neo every day, there is no experience quite as magical. So today, we're excited to invite you in on this journey. We believe that the future will be shaped not just by us, but by all of you who believe in this as deeply as we do. Now, if this is you,
I already know this is going to be expensive. Of course it is. Yeah. $20,000 early access, standard rollout, $500 a month.
pre-order your Neo today at 1x.tech.
Oh, you can get a black one and a blue one? Yeah, if I had the money, I would love to have something like this. I would love to. That would be awesome. All right, man. That's it for the stream. I ran out of time, unfortunately. Thank you to anyone who tapped in and, just watched it for just a few seconds. Thank you. and that I will stream again hopefully tomorrow. And I'm going back to work tomorrow, unfortunately. But I should be back tomorrow, hopefully. Have a good night.